Fighting game archetypes. You know them, you love them, and they're in pretty much every fighting game you've ever touched. In the fighting game space, you've probably come across this topic before, so if you're someone who's playing fighting games, you already know what an archetype for fighting game characters are. But for those who are new to fighting games or don't play them like that, I'll go ahead and give you a definition of what a fighting game archetype is, courtesy of the fighting game glossary. An archetype is a way to categorize a character's general playstyle based on their best moves. For example, zoners want to keep their opponents far away, grapplers want to get real close and give you a giant hug, hit and run characters look for small hits in all ranges and constantly move around to make themselves a hard target. Certain series even have their own unique lingo for archetypes common to their games. Street Fighter has their Shoto, Tekken has the Mishima, and Smash Brothers has the space animals. Yeah, Fox, Falco, Wolf, that's what these guys are. Yeah, these three. So just a heads up, there will be some archetypes that I'll have to explain with my examples later in the video. I'm only doing this for the uneducated, so for those who already know, please bear with me. Thank you. So why am I making this video, some of you may wonder? Well, I'm going to answer your question with another question. What if I take two archetypes and combine them? You get the best of both worlds. A character whose unique playstyle will bring flair, sauce, and dopamine to its roster. Or they just come out as crappy. Then I don't know what else to tell you. Now, a hybrid archetype is pretty self-explanatory, basically taking both playstyles and putting them into one character. Hell, some of you may probably played or encountered these hybrids before. Good thing I didn't say any popular games because I can't think of any examples that some of you may run into. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 examples of characters I have played who have this unique playstyle. By the way, you all should know that rushdown characters are one of my favorite archetypes, and oftentimes my preferred playstyle. It's very character and game dependent. Some are hard, if not very hard to play. These characters have another playstyle implemented into their kit where I don't play the archetype they originate from, like stance, grapple, and puppets. So let's get started with the first character that is the sole reason why this video is being made. Legit my go-to main and pretty much my first Blaze Blue waifu. Bullet's definitely one of my favorite female characters to play as in fighting games. She's the sole reason why this video is even being made to begin with, as I stated earlier. In the games Blaze Blue, Chrono Phantasma, and Central Fiction, Bullet is what's known as a rushdown grappler. A rushdown is a style of play that focuses on getting close to your opponent and relentlessly attacking them until they die. It's kind of the opposite of zoning. Good qualities for a rushdown character include lots of ways to get around long-range attacks, tricky approaches like dive kicks so you can be hard to anti-air, and lots of plus attacks so your opponent has to repeatedly guess on defense to survive. The ultimate rushdown character is a gorilla. That's something some of the characters do fit here, but hopefully not too many games end up at the extreme. She gives players that needed adrenaline rush of being in an opponent's face and never giving them a breathing room, while rewarding them with the oh so satisfying command grabs once she catches them. I feel like there's no need for me to explain what a grappler is because, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. They walk up and grab you. That's where most of their damage comes from, by the way. But the thing with Bullet is when she gets in, if she grabs you, hell, she can literally grab you from the air, and it's so satisfying to do it. It's so satisfying to watch when other people do it. She's basically dunking you like a basketball. And not only that, she has a move where she freaking drags you across the ground. That is the most rawest thing I've ever seen a female character do. Like, you know the scene from Dragon Ball Super Broly where Broly grabs Goku and just shoves his face through the ice and just drags him through? That's pretty much what Bullet does, except she does that on the ground. And everything she does when she gets her hands on you is so satisfying. Hell, even her astral finish really just hammers it home when she just slams you. Like she takes her hand and blasts some fire in your face, slams you to the ground, and charges her for one last big attack, and then just incineration. Now we move on to our next example. This cute goofy goober of a maid is Kohaku. With her sword broom and variety of plants, she is known as a rushdown set play. Now, a set play is pretty much a But when you perform a pre-planned calculated setup after you've knocked down your opponent, there's usually no figure out on the fly here. The set play often involves some frame kills to set up a very specific timing that will make your mix-ups extremely ambiguous and often avoid reversals. Think of it like drawing up a set play in a sport like American football. The plan of attack is well thought out and all possible outcomers are computed in advance. Some characters can freestyle the offense a little bit, but usually they'll have some total shutdown effect they'll do first, like putting down a powerful lingering projectile on top of the knockdown defender so they have nowhere to run. The best part about set play is, unless you're a training mode monster and enjoy the challenge, you typically don't have to find these mix-ups yourself. The kind of folks on YouTube and Twitter will find them for you. So the thing with Kohaku is the fact that she has plants, and they have names, but I pretty much gave them names myself, and they just named after characters from The Emperor's New Groove. We have Pacha, Cusco, Yzma, and Kronk. Yeah, I know I'm very original, but the thing is with Kohaku is the fact that like she's real fun to the where like I can just go ahead and just do a good combo here and there, and all those combos lead to the opponent, you know, getting knocked down. This is where her set play comes in, because you either set one of the plants to either like keep your opponent grounded so that way you can mix them up so they won't really have a way to defend themselves. Now if they do have a way to defend themselves, like I said, that's where the plants come in, because when you set them down, they're able to find a way for you to look for an opening, because your opponent is not always defending. So when you have Kohaku out here doing her thing, set down a plant for a specific scenario, and then huzzah, you go at them. Sword slashes for days. Next, let's move on to my final example, and some of you may already know from the thumbnail alone, that's why I put him in the thumbnail, but here he is. One of the goats of shonen himself, one of the members of the big three, Ichigo Kurosaki arrives with his true power. True Shikai Ichigo comes as a surprise to players when he plays unexpectedly different in comparison to his other three selves. In Bleach Rebirth the Souls, True Shikai Ichigo in this game is a rushdown stance character. A stance character is a mode some fighting game characters can enter that changes the attacks or movements that they have available. You might change it to a new stance by directly inputting a special move, or maybe because of some other specific move was blocked, the stance could just be a limited time thing, perhaps just until you input your next attack. Or the switch could be permanent until the player chooses to switch back. Stances exist in many games, including Street Fighter's Gen and Guilty Gear's Leo Whitefang, but they are especially common in occurrence in 3D games like Tekken and Soul Calibur, where most characters have multiple stances they will switch between often. And when you're playing a game like Bleach Rebirth the Souls, you pretty much get that similar feeling to Soul Calibur. So something like this for True Shikai Ichigo fits right well at home. Because the game plan with True Shikai Ichigo is that you can't really just rush people down like you would with Bankai Ichigo. The thing with True Shikai Ichigo is that you have to get in and make sure you open up your opponent. And then once you're able to do so, that's when you'll be able to go into the stance mechanic. Now the stance mechanic can go either one or two ways, because when you in the stance mechanic, input another button to dash forward, input another button to do, I call this a dunking overhead, even though it's not a true overhead, not in a 3D game, not like this. Or you press another button to do a flurry of attacks. But this is where True Shikai Ichigo's game plan comes around, because once you're able to do this, you'll be able to trick your opponent in order to open them up for more combo opportunities. Especially when you're awakened to the Horn of Salvation, that's when things get more spicy. True Shikai Ichigo's buttons get longer, more damage is dealt with his attacks, and boy oh boy, it's a reward to see, because seeing that Grand Ray Zero, and that Grand Ray Zero gets a Tensho, and all of that, all his other moves it's just a treat to watch. Because looking at this guy, look at this is just, this is my goat. And that would bring us to the end of this video. So what do you guys think? Did you learn something new today regarding hybrid archetypes, or do you have any hybrid archetypes that are your favorite character in fighting games? Be sure to let me know down below. Without further ado, this is UZXCrimsonAvenger, and don't lose your way. Peace.